name is Shannon Crowder. I am a para with the ECSE student support team. And today we are going to talk about deep breathing, why it works, how it works, and give a couple of examples of ways to practice deep breathing with your kiddos at home. Let me share my screen real quick here. All right, so like I said, we're just going to talk about deep breathing today and kind of like why it works with our bodies. So how deep breathing calms us down. So your breath is controlled in your brainstem, which is the first part of your brain that's developed. So if this is your brain, this is your brainstem, this is your like frontal lobe cortex. And so your brainstem actually controls your breath all on its own. You breathe without thinking about it. It controls your breath, but we are actually able to control how we breathe. And deep breathing is one of those ways that we can control our bodies and how we breathe so that when our lids are flipped, we can come back down and get back down into that wizard brain. So it allows for more air to enter your body, and it actually triggers your nervous system to calm your body down. It'll lower your pulse, stabilize your blood pressure, and just slow everything down a little bit. When you chest breathe, it actually amps your body up a little bit, and so then it starts raising your pulse, your blood pressure, and all of that. So deep breathing actually brings it back down to a very calm level. It's more so diaphragmatic breathing or deep breathing is much more effective than chest breathing. When you breathe through your chest, you can feel it if you try it. Like you get less lungs into your less breath into your lungs. There we go. Then if you actually use your chest breathing, your chest cavity only expands so much, so it actually limits the amount of air that you can get. When you use your diaphragm, it allows for more expansion and therefore more air to get into your lungs. So what does it feel like? The big thing about deep breathing, we call it belly breathing a lot with our kiddos, is that your belly moves in and out, your chest doesn't move in and out. So I play the bassoon, and one of the first things they teach, like all instrumentalists, all singers, is how to support your breath. And they do that by teaching belly breathing and deep breathing. So the first thing they taught us was that when you take a deep breath, your diaphragm normally sits in your lung cavity up like this. And when you take a deep breath and you do that diaphragmatic breathing, it actually contracts and expands out to allow your lungs to fill from the bottom up. And it pushes into your abdomen, which is what causes your belly to stick out when you breathe. And then when you exhale, it relaxes and goes back into your lung cavity, which brings your stomach back in. So you really just want to make sure that you're taking that deep breath and you're using your diaphragm and that your belly is moving in and out. That way you're getting a deep supported breath. So we're going to practice it really quickly. So a good way is to lie down, or you can sit calmly. I'm going to be sitting today, but you want to make sure your shoulders are down, you're relaxed, and your back is straight. You're going to place one hand on your chest and one hand on your stomach. And you're going to take a deep breath in through your nose. And notice how the hand on your stomach moves up and down, but the hand on your chest doesn't. So I'm going to move my camera so you guys can see it there. So you're going to take a deep breath. Did you see how my stomach moved up and down, but my chest hand didn't? So you always want to inhale through your nose and out through your mouth. Same like if you're working out or doing yoga or anything like that. You can actually feel yourself when you breathe through your mouth. It's almost always going to be a chest breath. Anytime you hear noise when you're breathing in, that's always going to be a chest breath and not a deep belly breath. So you always want to make sure you breathe through your nose. A way we practice this with our kiddos in the classroom is you put like a Beanie Baby or a small stuffed toy on their stomachs while they're lying down so they can see that stuffed animal go up and down while they are breathing. And that's a good thing you can do at home too, just to practice. Or you can do it yourself and put a Beanie Baby on your stomach. That'll work too. So one of the reasons we teach it as the first calming strategy to teach our students is that anyone can do it. Anyone can take a deep breath anytime, anywhere. It doesn't matter. You don't need any tools. All you need is yourself. I practice it a lot. It is something that you do need to practice to get in the habit of doing. If I get frustrated, I'll take a deep breath. If I'm frustrated with my dogs, I'll take a deep breath. If I'm frustrated with my husband, I take a deep breath. I make sure that I am always kind of deep breathing all throughout the day just to make sure that my body is nice and regulated. So we're going to look at some videos to practice some of our breaths. These are just 3 that I chose that I really like working with the kiddos on because they're simple to do, and most of the kiddos really enjoy doing these. The rainbow breath. Put your palms together and inhale up and exhale and make a rainbow with your arms. So that's the rainbow breath. This is the train breath. This is probably our most popular breath, at least in the districts that I work in. And this is the snake breath. Here are some other ways to practice that we use in the classroom. Pinwheels are a great way to practice because you have to use a lot of air to get it to spin, and kids just really like that. You can find them cheap at like the dollar store, and it really anywhere, especially with spring coming up, they'll start popping up again. The little sphere thing is called a Hoberman sphere, and we use it to kind of show how to like expand your breath and how your breath is expanding your lungs. So when you take a deep breath in, you'll expand it, go. And we kind of use it to like just show how your lungs are expanding with the kiddos, and they really enjoy using them and practicing with the Hoberman spheres. Bubbles are a great way. Who doesn't love bubbles? You know, you have to take a deep breath to get the bubbles going. And pizza, I like anytime there's something to smell that is warm, I like to, talk about how you have to smell it and then you have to cool it down. So you have to blow on it to cool it down. And that's just another good way to just kind of practice that deep breathing. There are so many ways to practice out there. There are so many breaths out there. If you need different examples of breath, feel free to ask any of your facilitators, your classroom teachers, your social workers. We all have lots of breaths we can give you. You can ask your kid to make one up. We do that a lot too, and we get some really fun breaths that way. There's also for the adults, there's something called like a mindfulness app where you ring a bell, and every time you hear the bell, you take a deep breath in. And it just helps to like continuously regulate you and your body. A lot of our classrooms have bells in them, and we practice breathing that way with our kids too. We'll ring a bell and kind of everyone will stop and take a deep breath. We're very well trained. If I hear a bell now, I will stop and take a deep breath. It doesn't matter where I am. I'm very well trained to take a breath for the mindfulness bells. And so we with that, like we also want to remember, this is one of my favorite sayings in early childhood, is that you are a thermostat and not a thermometer. You want to control the energy that is coming out of you and the energy of your interaction with a kiddo. We do it with our students. You don't want to react to them. So if you have a kiddo who is upset or frustrated or angry, you don't want to be upset and frustrated and angry when you're trying to calm them down. So you don't want to be reacting to their energy. You want to actually help control their energy and bring that energy back down. And deep breathing is a really good way to do that, really simply. If I'm working with a kiddo and they start getting upset, I'll just start deep breathing. And a lot of times they'll just download my calm. And so they'll see me deep breathing, they'll kind of start matching my breath and they'll just download my calm. And it helps just to regulate them as well. If I have a kiddo who is upset and I look at them and I go, hey, you look really frustrated, maybe we should take a deep breath. A lot of times, sometimes they'll just go, no, I'm not doing that. And so I'll tell them, like, well, I'm going to take a deep breath because I'm feeling frustrated. So I need to calm down too. And I'll start deep breathing. And a lot of times I'll just download my calm and start matching my breath anyways. So it's just really important to, if you're trying to calm down a student or your kiddo, to make sure you're calm before you go into that interaction. Take a few deep breaths yourself. Let them see you taking a deep breath. It's totally fine. And it's really helpful to just be like, hey, I'm frustrated. I'm going to take some deep breaths to calm my body down too. To show them that it's okay to be frustrated and it's okay to be angry. And this is what you can do to help calm your body down. So just remember, be a thermostat, not a thermometer. Thank you for joining me today. If you guys have any more questions or anything, feel free to reach out to any of your student support facilitators or social workers. Thanks.